McLeish, no score. First period going in. And McLeish and Vadnam were high-sticking one another. The Bruins move it in. It's offside. Then Andre Savard gets into a mix-up there with Kendrick. They're swinging at each other. Andre Savard and R.S. Kendrick.
Well, what do you say, Bill? A couple of high-spirited rookies going at it. We pointed out Sunday, and they still want to get at one another with the linesman in there now. So this one isn't over yet. It looked as though they had them separated. But Kindreček and Savard continued. We mentioned on Sunday that the game was devoid of anything like this of a major nature, and a lot of people said, well, the Flyers don't have to fight to win. They played so well. But here we are with a bit of a hassle here a minute ago, which didn't develop into anything, and then this one, which did. And they are still leaning and grappling, and as you see there, weakly, in this case, punching.
An oddity, really, Dick, because they started off playing it wide open, and it looked like they were really going to stick to hockey.
Savard of Boston, R.S. Kindreček of Philadelphia for fighting. We have a scoreless game. It all started with that stick, Kindreček to Savard, who replied with a swipe along the ice, and then they dropped the sticks and gloves, and away they went.
And this early in the game, while you've got lots of strength. Centered it, went by Esposito, or lets it go. There's a bit of a fencing going on between Cashman and Jimmy Watson. Cashman and Jimmy Watson.
Well, it's more than fencing now, so this could be a rather lengthy evening. And referee Wicks is going to have his hands full. Cashman and Watson were being penalized as they got sticks up. And then after the referee had given them the penalty signal, they went at it without their sticks and gloves. And Cashman still battling as he tries to get away. Esposito coming in now, and they are trying to get Cashman back, and now the fans get going on that.
Schultz goes in, back of the net. He's bumped by O'Reilly. They go to the boards. They start to rough it up. Dave Schultz has O'Reilly, and down goes O'Reilly.
Schultz gave O'Reilly a headbutt when he had the Boston player dead to rights. On a play which normally wouldn't produce this kind of a thing, but tonight it has, and this one has been a fight-filled first half of a first period, and O'Reilly now wants to get at Schultz. They went at one another in Boston in the second game, and Wicks is ordering O'Reilly to the penalty box to avoid anything more in this particular situation, but those two,
long evening, Dick.
those two may get together again before it's over. Usually the pattern for the Flyers in their games throughout this playoff year is that this sort of thing has developed in games after they have lost the previous outing. But they've won the previous two in this series, but now we are getting the penalty box as a scene of a lot of the action, and there goes young Mr. Schultz. The Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Philadelphia Spectrum.
Boston penalty to number 24, Terry O'Reilly, and Flyers penalty to number 8, Dave Schultz, each 5 minutes for fighting. Time of the penalty, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. O'Reilly of Boston, Schultz of the Flyers, each 5 minutes for fighting.
Dick Irvin along with Bill Hughes speaking to you from the Spectrum in Philadelphia, where in the last 5 minutes and 17 seconds we've had 38 minutes of penalties and 3 goals. Here is the start of this one, and watch Schultz there. You see him with the headbutting routine as O'Reilly has his arms wrapped around him, and Schultz was giving him that action head to head.
Well, that's 3 sets of majors in his first 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Now Esposito won the draw, then lost the puck. Horace Kindreček, then a bit of a check by Phil Esposito. Esposito and Zaleski came up with a high stick. Zaleski seemed to have been caught with a high stick as well. But Esposito was the first one to get nailed.
I think you could tell that Esposito did not want to get involved. The Flyers were going after him, but I think Zaleski was coned by Dallas Smith, and it is Smith who Zaleski is arguing at now as he is being steered by the already overworked linesman Neil Armstrong along with his partner Claude Béchard. He is putting Zaleski in the box, and Esposito is drawing a penalty. Now, I don't know if Smith is going to get a penalty. He is still standing, hands on hips, as you see him, number 20. See, Zaleski and Bladen. Yes, two of the Flyers are in there. Here's the replay, how it started. First, Bladen and Esposito. They swing. Now, Zaleski, number 11, tries to get at Esposito. You get involved. Watch Smith come in from behind, and that's how he gets involved. And Smith gets a penalty for high sticking, and there you see on the left of your screen the stick high coming down in the direction of Zaleski. So to recap this one, at 9:43 here in the first period, it's Esposito for slashing, Zaleski for roughing, Smith for high sticking, Bladen for elbowing, minor penalties off. The replay, Bill. I think we're going to see it anyway. Flett on the far side, and he becomes involved with Vadnais after Smith had made the save. Now there's Vadnais' cross-check. Whappo! There is Flett's slash. It cut Vadnais on the back of the leg. And now Schultz arrives amidst a kind of an ovation, and he takes over from Barber.
Big face-off again in the Boston territory. Score tied 2-2. Clark against Leduc, who went down. There's going to be a penalty here. The two of them, Clark and Leduc.
I think, Bill, that Wicks has decided that enough's enough. You pointed out so often on Sunday, the Gilmore routine. He was calling them so close. Well, Wicks has got some problems on his hands here tonight, so he's not hesitating. Here is the replay of what happened between Clark and Leduc. Now, who's getting the penalties? They both are being penalized on the play. So,
Boston penalty to number 18, Richie Leduc, 2 minutes for holding. Flyers penalty to number 16, Bobby Clark, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalties, 13 minutes, 16 seconds.
Leduc holding for slashing.
Holding. Bobby Clark with the Flyers, 2 minutes for slashing.
It just took 11 seconds to get another pair of penalties, Dick. Back for Terry O'Reilly, number 24 at the blue line, up the center right. Oh, and he just missed a terrific body check from Andre Dupont. O'Reilly, up Boston.
O'Reilly gets the penalty. Bill, you pointed out that O'Reilly had sidestepped an intended check from Dupont. Had Dupont connected, that would have been the check of the series.
2 minutes for charging. Time of the penalty, 16 minutes, 10 seconds. O'Reilly at Boston, 2 minutes for charging.
Well, the announcement is charging, and that's the reason why.
Vadnais mixing it up with Bill Barber. Then Vadnais along the boards, gets his elbow up. Cashman gets in there. Barber's there. They're right. Well, we'll see what happens. How many more do they need, Dick, to set the record?
No, I don't think
They've got 1 minute and 47
I
seconds.
don't think they're going to make it. They're about 5 short, but then again, one never knows. The one thing about the new long hairstyles hockey players are featuring, like Barber there, you can really tell when they get zonked one in the noggin because, you know, the hair flies. And some wag says that it's a good name for a fellow with hair like that. Barber. Well, we'll let that one just stay right where it is.
Brought out by Savard. Savard with 50 seconds. He's checked by Clark. There's their sticks up a little high. There in front of that Boston bench. Then Schultz starts swinging and shoving right at the bench. Dave Schultz and Andre Savard.
Well, Schultz's aim in his hockey life is quite obvious, and he is fighting with Savard and then took the opportunity to throw a punch at one of the bystanders, Carol Vadnais. So Schultz's purpose is obvious tonight. Whether or not it's going to do his team any good in the long run remains to be seen as he heads again to the penalty box.
In front of the net. Bernie Perrant just stepped out of the way of that one. Over on the left wing to Orr. Orr failed to get over the line. He was hit by Ed Van Impe.
Here is Van Impe against Orr. A rather spectacular collision, and Orr goes up, over, and down, much to the delight of the 17007, or at least the vast majority of them.
And the Philadelphia Flyers have defeated the Boston Bruins 4-2, lead the series 3-1.